I've been on YouTube for almost a decade, and there is one person I have never featured on my channel, and today that changes. Welcome to the marathon. My name's Mare. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. If you are new here, feel free to subscribe. There's a link down below to join the Marathoner Facebook group. And there's also a link down below to buy my Amazon #1 best-selling book, Finding Your Cape, which I have a very exciting announcement to share with you today regarding my book. And I have been wanting to do this video since November. And I am shooting this in May of 2020. My book came out January 23rd, and it was a very special date to me because that would have been my dad's 75th birthday. If you're new to my channel, my dad passed away when I was 19, and so he never knew me as an adult. And that's always been something that I've struggled with, to be honest. Missing out on his sage wisdom in my career and in my adult life, you know, getting married and having my son Thomas. As I'm filming this today, it is actually Thomas's 9th birthday. And there's been so many times in my life where I wished I had had his advice in my 20s and now in my 30s. And if you have read Finding Your Cape, you know that I introduce you to my dad in the book. But if you haven't read it, I have very special news to share with you today. Finding Your Cape has gone #1 on Amazon. It is available in paperback. It is also available digitally. So if you'd rather read it on your e-reader or your iPad or your Kobo, it's available for your Kindle, etc. And now I'm so excited to tell you that it is available in audiobook form. I recorded the audio version of Finding Your Cape in the room next door, my bedroom, in my bedroom closet. And it has been such an experience to record it and to get it out to you. So it is now available in audio form worldwide on Audible, on Apple Books. It's available on Google Books, iTunes. It's available on Scribd, that service. It is available basically anywhere you listen to audiobooks. You can now listen to this. And I first had the idea to introduce you to my dad when I was putting the finishing touches on the book and getting ready to release it. Never did I ever expect that it would take an extra few months to get the audiobook out, but here we are. It's out now. And to celebrate that, I wanted to share with you some never before seen footage of my dad. And also I wanted to give you a little sneak peek of the audiobook. So I am going to share with you part of chapter 3, which is the chapter in which I introduce you to my dad, and you get to find out how he, obviously unbeknownst to him and unbeknownst to me at the time, was a huge inspiration for the idea of the cape, which is the backbone to this book. So please enjoy an excerpt from my audiobook, some never before seen footage of my dad flying his life-size Superman, and I'm also going to include a little bit of a local news story, which would have been from, I believe, the late 90s. So thank you for your support. If you would like to purchase Finding Your Cape, there's all the links down below. If you've already read it, thank you so much. There's been book clubs who have featured it. There have been people who are buying it for their girlfriends, their moms, their kids, their best friends, their spouses. I've been honored to hear how many men have read this book and it's been life-changing for them. So keep finding your cape, keep celebrating this book with me, and now you can listen to it in audio form. And I am so honored. I think I've just had this like perma grin on my face this whole video. So I'd like to introduce you to my dad, the inventor of the Flying Superman. My dad made Superman fly. No, really. Superman was always a crowd favorite. We went to a lot of flying meets during my childhood, and I can remember grown men excitedly running up to my dad asking if Superman would be flying that day. The crowd would hold its collective breath to see if the Man of Steel would, in fact, gain altitude. Sean and I both remember a meet when Superman had a bumpy landing and his head came off and rolled down the runway. My dad raced to repair Superman and fly him a second time that day. His efforts were met with a collective sigh of relief among parents and kids alike, and this time his head firmly remained on his shoulders. My dad loved flying Superman. Neither versions of Superman were aerodynamic, which made them difficult to fly. Even though it was never easy, the result was always worth the effort. Isn't that a metaphor for life? The things that yield the most rewarding results are never easy or smooth. We want to be as aerodynamic as possible while navigating life with little dragging us down.
Gerard McHale is out trying one of his latest inventions.
I'm just checking to see that we do have radio range. So we run a 25% nitro content.
Once it has the gas it requires, the object is airborne. The action from the people who look up to see what all the noise is about is one of disbelief. Yes, it's Superman. Gerard McHale spent a month working on this project, but this Man of Steel is actually not so strong.
The body is foam, hollow foam, and the wing is balsa wood and plywood. Yeah. Covered with a film, a 9-mile film.
It has a motor attached to it and is controlled by a remote control device. It can fly a distance of 3 kilometers. Many who watched the project develop didn't think it would ever be able to stay up in the air.
It defies all the laws of aerodynamics, and it does fly. It's tricky to fly. It's not a beginner's model by any chance, but it will fly.
You've got a little engine and a motor?
Yes. The motor's up on the back, and the radio's inside the cape, which is the wing.